you're not even paying any income on any taxes on any of your income, because if you just do everything else properly.
You find a property 60 cents on the dollar, okay? You can pretty much, without you coming up with it for the 100K, okay, well, you have it for $60,000. Instead of you coming up with the 10%, which is $6,000, you can actually get it with none of your own money. You just, because banks are financing worst case scenario 75%, right? So on this scenario, if the property is worth 100K and you have it under contract for 60,000, okay, well, the property worth 100K, so and the banks are financing 75%. So why are people putting money out of their own pocket? Why are the banks financing up to $75,000 if you have the property for 60,000? So there's a way, which I teach my students. There's a way where obviously you gotta first have the right company, okay, and you leverage two companies. You put company number one under contract with that property, and you sell it to company number two, okay, and then you just leverage. Hey, you're selling it for $100,000, so they're gonna finance $75,000, okay, and you actually end up with the property and with money on the go.
I hear what you're saying, and the reason I don't do that is because I don't want to have the taxable gain associated to doing that. Again, like I said, I understand how it works because I have an accounting firm, I have an insurance agency, I have a mortgage company, I have a construction company, and I have insurance agency. So everything is done in-house. So I understand the concept of what you're saying. But what happens is when you flip that property, you're going to have the taxable gain on the amount that you sold it. What you're saying is you buy the property for 65, you sell it, you flip it really quickly to another company you own at $75,000 or $100,000, and then you can write off the difference to yourself. But then again, you have to pay the taxable gain on that difference. So if I don't have to do that, I don't want to have a taxable consequence for making that type of decision. But it is a nice concept if you want to kind of take that kind of risk.
There's not really risk involved. There's not. I came here to put out the phone to charge at one time. There's no risk involved because you're not using your money. Okay, that's one. You're not using your money. You're using the bank's money. Okay, and also, when you talk about the taxes, and this is something I haven't done the whole taxes thing because obviously that's for buy and hold. Okay, but I have partnered up with a firm in Puerto Rico. Okay, that from what they explained to me, and this is something that I'm offering, for my students. From what they explained to me is, since I get to Puerto Rico, you pay 4% tax. Okay, so you pretty much make a parent company. It can be a construction company, it can be a tech company, whatever it is, but you have a parent company in Puerto Rico that manages companies here in the States. Mm-hmm. So you pretty much filter out your money over there.
Yeah, I understand I know you haven't done it before, but I understand what it is because again, I understand the concept. As a Puerto Rican company, you're subject to a reduced amount of tax, and you just have the parent company through Puerto Rico. But you have to claim yourself as a Puerto Rican resident, and you have to have a residence in Puerto Rico or claim you have a residence in Puerto Rico to make that work. So yes, one of the guys that I follow, his company is based out of Puerto Rico, and he advises people to move to Puerto Rico. So I definitely get the concept. Yes, that is possible. You have to get to a certain level to be able to get to have that done. If you have a $80,000 property, it is not worth all the hoops for the amount of tax, the amount of cost it's going to be for if I was going to do the accounting for all of that. The amount of accounting you're going to have to pay for $80,000 is not worth it. Now, if you're starting talking about you're doing $1 million deals, multi-million-dollar deals, then that makes sense because the amount of money you're going to save on taxes and things like that, then it will make sense to do those type of deals. One, you have to have an extreme amount of equity available to do it. Two, it has to be a lot of profit to be able to be generated, to be able to cover all of the costs for the accountants and the tax preparation and everything else, because we're talking about doing taxes for 2 to 3 entities and everything else. So we're talking about, thousands of dollars a year per entity to be able to keep it up. And then on top of that, you have to have a ownership of property in Puerto Rico and claim it to be your primary residence. All of those things are required to be able to accomplish what you're saying. What you're saying can be done, but I'm just saying there's a lot of work that needs to make that happen. And if you don't need to do it, if you have the cash, you can avoid all of that, because if you're doing the proper depreciation, if you're doing cost segregation models, you're not even paying any income on any taxes on any of your income, because if you just do everything else properly. So if I can avoid jumping through all those hoops, spending all that money and possibly having to pay a tax because I made a mistake somewhere along the way, I'll just avoid it and just pay the $100,000 or whatever it is for the few months I need it while I'm doing a flip, and then I'll get it right back. That's my logic. Now, again, conceptually, that works. That works conceptually, but
Is that how you do it?
no, because I don't have to do it. Like, I don't have to go through 6 steps to do.
No. I'm talking about you buying cash, so you just don't really pay taxes, and then.
No. I'll put down on a flip. I'll put down 10 to 20% to avoid all those circles and paying all those accounts. Because again, every entity you have is going to cost you a few $1,000s a year in taxes. Ignoring it's a Puerto Rican entity and ignoring the fact that you have to have a home in Puerto Rico to really do that. So to avoid that, I'm just going to put down I'll put down 10 to 20%, do the deal, be done with the deal, and then not have all that extra headache and paperwork involved, because I don't really need that extra money. Normally, if you got a great deal, someone's going to give you the money. Some partner out there.
Sure.
And I told someone, hey guys, find a deal in my area. I will front the money on those deals. Find something in my area. Now, I do not want to come to New Jersey. No, I don't want to go to New York. I already said I don't want to go to LA. So don't give me these deals. Because they're not business friendly. I only deal with states that are business friendly, or areas where they're business friendly, because I want them to be on my side.
And no California either.
No, unless I'm going to make stupid money. Like, if I make dummy money, then I'll go, because I'll have enough money to pay for the BS. But if I'm not making enough money, like, I'm looking to open a California branch for my mortgage company.